Hello, my beautiful gamers and gamerettes. What up? This is gonna be a video that I've been kind of wanting to make for a little while, but I just haven't because I'm lazy, and God forgive me for being lazy, but I'm lazy as shit sometimes, especially when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, little bro, first off, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. Okay, so I'm gonna go over, I guess, go over, quote unquote, go through a day in, like, what do I do in MapleStory? Like, I log on, what does a day, an average day for me look like? Like, what is my gameplay flow? My dailies and shit. So what does a day of dailies look like for me in Mushroom Game? So what I do, every day, I start, log on, get on my Nightwalker. We start here, every day. Why do we start here? Well, it's just what I do. I like to get the dailies here out of the way first. I just accept the dailies. I do Talahart and Carcion. And if the Soul Erdo Weekly is available, I'll do the Soul Erdo Weekly, but not on this character, because obviously this character doesn't need it. Something about this character, though, or about this daily, I guess, set, I will usually pop a rune, just because the rune will spawn instantly since I haven't been grinding. But the rune will spawn, I'll pop the rune, and then I'll grind the rune out. Do I really need to? No, but do I do it anyways? Yes. So I'll sit here, I'll do a quick little 5-minute grind, because there's a rune. And then, yeah, once the rune's over, I'll move over to Carcion and run that. So, oh shit, I forgot to turn the procs off. I don't even know if the procs are affected by, experience multipliers. I haven't looked. If it's anything like previous proc events, it is, modified by experience multipliers. But I just know that, like, the treasure chests aren't modified by XP multipliers. So I was just wondering if that's something they kind of did intentionally to, like, divert needing to be on multipliers for, like, buffs and shit. I assume the proc event, you need to be on multipliers. Anyways, I will be back once I am closer to being done with this, or if I have something relevant to say, because I won't just make you sit here through the entirety of just me pressing Shadow Bite. I realized while I was finishing up this Rune Day today, I'm recording this on fucking Rune Day. I decided to record this what do I do in a week, or what do I do in a day video on Rune Day. This is funny to me. God bless Nexon for getting their head out of their ass slightly and making it so there can be 4 people per fucking map. Jesus Christ. You have solved the problem that only existed because you made it a problem. Thank you. Sincerely. God, Rune Day before this change, if you were not familiar, you were not getting a map on pretty much any map, ever. You'd be lucky to get, like, a shit map. At least in Carcion and above, that's for sure. And when I say shit map, I'm talking, like... What is it? Like, I'm talking, like, Giant Coral Colony 2. Nobody has ever talked about GCC 2 in their life. I used to grind on that map, though. Because the burning was really high. And the map really wasn't that bad for Nightwalker. I could just sit in the middle and hold Shadow Bite. I'd have to replace my fountain every minute if I wanted max rates, but... That's not that bad. Anyways, though, the 5-minute rune is up. So, do my last little loot. Loot. Then we go hit up Carcion. I just go back to Unfolding Forest 3. This is home base, baby. Turn this shit in, or kill 300 mobs, turn this shit in. I guess I can also hit up the event buff thing. If there is an event going on, you always do your daily check-in. Then you put in your event points if you can. I can't. There's nothing to put in. We kill these 300 mobs, and then we'll head over to Maple Tour. Woo, Maple Tour! Do my 2 Maple Tour runs, because it's just free meso for, like, no time investment. The ratio there is pretty good as far as time in versus reward. and then we'll hit up Ursus, and then we'll be done with the Nightwalker portion of Dailies. Well, I guess that's not true. I guess I should do Gollux and Arcarium too, since I need to eventually 23 a Sup Pendant XD. God, that shit tilted me. I'm not gonna lie. It tilted me more for the reasons that I disclosed in my On Warrior Star Forcing video, where I was kind of talking about how, like, it's just frustrating with the new system, particularly when, like, other people are hitting and you're not. You're not even that you're not hitting, but, like, you don't even have the opportunity to hit because you don't get the pitched items to drop, and then even if you did get the starable pitched items to drop, you'd then need the second copy to go 22, and then you have friends that are hitting their 22 pitched. Oh, I dashed the wrong way, but it didn't matter. I was still iframed. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. You still have the people who are hitting the 22 pitched on their spares that they got to drop, and then they're also hitting it on their main item that they had equipped and at 21. So now they have two 22s, and then they tap their 22 spare, and it goes 23, and it's like, okay, bro, this game, shit starts to tilt you. And that's what I mean when I always say, like, you need a fucking strong mental in this game, because you really do. The systems are bullshit, 100%, but you go into the game knowing that, right? And you know that they're not going to change it in any meaningful way. At least not anytime soon, right? Obviously, they might change it at some point. But now that we did our Gollux and Arcarium, extract my shit. Yeah, I've started extracting my shit. Inventory looks so much nicer now after Shining Star Force, I'll give it that. The pseudo crash out really helped my inventory management, that's for sure. We run Maple Tour, can't run it in a party, no worries, girl. But yeah, so the crash out about the whole, like, Star Forcing shit, whatever. But that's why I'm doing Gollux and Arcarium, because I, obviously, if you saw the clip of my Nightwalker Star Forcing, I failed 3 22 to 23 Sup Pendants, which is a 1 in 8 or 12.5% chance to happen. It is what it is. Failing 3 50/50s, essentially, is what the math breaks down to on average for a 22 to 23 tap. Sucks, but it's not, like, wildly unfathomable. It just sucks, right? It just does. And then obviously spending all the resources and dupes, that fucking blows. Because, I don't know if you know this, but, I mean, it's been, what, a week since the Star Force event? You can look at my dupes. I've gotten 1 Dominator Pendant, no Daybreaks. It's gonna take a while to get the spares, to say the least. And it's obviously, you can point and laugh and be like, well, that's why you should have been doing it for the last 6 months that you knew the system was coming. And it's like, yeah, you're completely right. But I also am a human being at the end of the day, right? And sometimes we gotta do things that are gonna benefit us more in the now rather than the later. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't also invalidate, like, the criticisms of the system now, too. And again, I'm not one of the people who are, like, saying the new Star Forcing system is bad, because compared to the old Star Forcing system, it's fucking amazing, right? It just is. The only bad part about it is that you can't Star Force off event now, which does kind of suck, because I'm obviously a big fan of wasting Meso. If that wasn't fucking apparent. Talk about wasting Meso. I fucking used 70 bill on black cubes because my Thunderbreaker got an emblem drop. And I didn't hit 3-line on the emblem after using 8,500 red cubes and 4,200 black cubes. So that was another amazing, like, crash out moment where I almost... Honestly, it's surprising to me that I'm still playing the game and grinding and, like, wanting to play it. My mental did some heavy tanking this last week. When it comes to this game specifically. But... what was I saying? What was Young Blood saying? I don't know. I was saying something clearly very important, which is why I can remember it. I have no idea what I was saying, man. I'm sorry. Either way, we did our Maple Tour runs. Now we're doing Ursus. Let's do my 3 Ursus runs. I just do it on the Nightwalker. Makes it nice and easy. Also, you get, like, slightly more meso because it's, like, based on your level. So I get 40 mil instead of, like, the 37 or whatever I would get on a lower level character. It does not matter whatsoever. I just do it on the Nightwalker because it's the character I'm on, right? That's as far as it goes. I'm not sitting here min-maxing my fucking mills from Ursus. I will say Ursus taking a little bit of time to queue up because the Challenger World makes me sad. This shit used to be instant. Instant. Oh, and I should also say, I pretty much always log in during 2 times Ursus time. On the rare chances that I don't log in during double Ursus time and do my like my dailies and stuff, then I'll obviously either wait if I can, or if I'm not gonna be available, I'll just run it solo and just get the meso off 2 times. Because the 2 times sections happen in the early morning Pacific and then the evening Pacific. The one that I usually do is the evening time, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. I think it's 5 p.m. now. Yeah, it's 5 to 9, I think. Because it used to be 6 to 10 before the daylight savings change. Anyways, I'll finish Ursus, and then once we're done, I will swap over to the next character in the list. Alright, with that, my 3 Ursus runs for the day have been completed, and that completes our Nightwalker segment, I think, right? Yes. Ignore the cubes that are expiring, I'll get to those later. Now, next on the character sheet, we have the Wild Hunter. Yes, the Wild Hunter. It has been added to the rotation. The Wild Hunter is nothing crazy. Well, okay. The Wild Hunter is crazy, but not for the reasons you might expect. The Wild Hunter is a fucking weak little baby. And I do... What am I doing here? What the freak am I doing? I'm looking for that. Then I'll also pop G skills just for funsies. Obviously, run Gollix on this character. I run Arc on this character. Because that's just the default thing you do on all of these classes. Basically, every mule gets it. I still do it on the mules that are finished with Gollix too, for some strange reason, which I'll get into in a bit when I get to them. But we start off running Gollix. I mean, it's nothing crazy, man. You've seen Gollix before, you've seen it a million times, you probably do it a million times yourself. But, Wild Hunter indeed. And then on this character, I do fucking arcane dailies as well, because this character... This was a very YOLO character to start playing again. And it needs quite a bit of work, but we're putting in the work. We are putting in the work. Maybe I get a Dominator Pendant. I just run with the drop gear that I have, so it's 272 drop, nothing crazy there. And then obviously I have a Legacy Big Spider, God bless him. Legacy Big Spider carries. Then, did I accept dailies? I didn't. Get that shit. We go Cernium, we do Fire Spirits. And then you'll see what I mean when I say this character's rough. He is struggling, or she, let's say. I mean, it's not that bad. But it's definitely not... I'm not clearing this map at max efficiency, let's just say that. But it doesn't take that long. I'm just being dramatic, because it's more fun to be dramatic, let's be honest here. But, yeah, and once I finish the dailies, that's pretty much all this character does. It's nothing crazy. This character is just a simple in and out, but I do this character every day. And, I don't know. These characters where you just do the basic dailies take maybe 10 minutes, maybe. And that's obviously me being very lenient with the time and just kind of vibing and not really trying to, like, min-max my time efficiency. I mean, shit, if I was really trying to push to go fast, you could probably do it a little bit faster, but I usually do this shit half asleep, barely just woken up, and I kind of vibe, you know? It's like the time that I use to wake up IRL. So that's the way I do things. Anyways, I will be back if I have something else to say. Otherwise, I'm gonna just keep doing these dailies. Alright, so I'm just about finished up with the dailies, and I think something I'll try to do, if I remember, I hope I remember, I will click the quit game button so you can see how long each character is taking, since I'm not recording the entirety of the daily session. The only character it won't really work on is my Nightwalker, because I was already logged in for like 3 centuries. Because I remember hitting the quit button and it being like 70 million centuries. But let's just say the Nightwalker took like 20 minutes or whatever, because the Nightwalker will always take a little bit longer since it does more things and I do the 5-minute grind. But, yeah, let's say 20 minutes for the Nightwalker. Or 25 if we really want to push it. But the Nightwalker doesn't take 25 minutes. We'll say 25 just for the sake of being, you know, trying to accurately represent how long my dailies, quote-unquote, take. Then with that, the Wild Hunter is done. All we have to do now is turn in this stuff. I claim the XP. I put anything that I found into storage. And yeah, 7 minutes. Not bad at all. Next character on the list is the Wind Archer. We hop on over to the Wind Archer. The Wind Archer is the other character that takes a little bit longer because I do 7 monster parks on this character. Because this is the character that I'm trying to get to 280 next on my account. I've considered swapping it over to the like the monster park to my Wild Hunter because my Wild Hunter is currently level 260, which is not super high. But I figure the Wild Hunter will... I'll worry about it later, basically, was my philosophy with that. So I will worry about it later. And I'm just going to keep putting the Monster Park on my Wind Archer until it's 280. Again, I might swap it at some point, but for now, that's what I'm doing. Because I also don't particularly think I would enjoy doing Monster Park on the Wild Hunter. Given how weak it currently is, though it's if I swap to like damage gear, it probably wouldn't be that bad. Probably wouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. And then yes, this character does Gollux because this character still needs Gollux. This isn't one of the characters that has finished Gollux. Its Gollux isn't even close to being finished. Let's just be real with each other. And then obviously Arcarium. Pretty much you can just shoe in as Gollux and Arcarium every single character. And it probably will be like that forever. Because even if you're not pushing for 23s, if you play these mules seriously, you'll want spares for the inevitable source that you will get at some point in your life, hopefully, God willing. But aside from that, more of the same here. I just do all the dailies on this character. Shangri-La downwards. I don't do Arcane River on this character, obviously, because it doesn't need it. The only character I do Arcane dailies on is the Wild Hunter, because it needs symbols. Every other character has their Arcane symbols finished. And I also do the Limina dailies on this character just for the XP. I don't know if it really does anything. It's just what I've done, though. Like, whatever character I'm trying to level and put XP on, I always do the Limina dailies on them. I'm sure it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but that's what I do, okay? And this whole video is just me yapping, talking about my daily routine on this game. So, I think it's relevant to talk about it, so frick it, man. These fucking birds, bro. I also really should start leveling FAMs on this character. I just haven't. Haven't even unlocked FAM slots for it. Such is life. I level FAMs on the Dawn Warrior and Thunderbreaker, though, smile face. I I really should do it for the Wind Archer too, though. Maybe I'll set that up later. I've convinced myself. I don't know. I'll see you guys in a bit if I got something to say. So a random topic that I was thinking about, and I figured I might as well yap about it. I don't know how many of y'all have, like, pets, or, like, specifically cats, but I have a cat, obviously. I talk about him a lot. He is something I love very dear and near to my heart, but holy shit. Sometimes he pisses me the fuck off. Like, okay. He is a big asshole, but he's my big asshole, and I love him very, very much. But lately, he's been doing this thing where every day without fail, at the pretty much the same time, every day, he goes in my room while I'm sleeping and just sits on me until I wake up. And then when I finally wake up, he'll headbutt my face until I pet him. And it's like, okay. One, that's really adorable. But two, brother, my sleep is suffering so much. Please, I need you to chill. It's been like a week and a half of this. And I am running on... fucking empty is not the definition that I would use. I'm running on fucking negatives, dog. I have nothing left. I'm so tired. Another chest? I've gotten 2 chests on this character. This is the second one. I got a green fucking Poyo fucking chest. Apollo, as he's known. I think the chests are character-based, so it's not like I'm losing any activations on my Nightwalker, if I were even going to cap them out anyways, because sometimes it takes a while to cap the chests out. Anyways. If you guys can relate, I feel for you. If you can't relate, that's just something that happens sometimes. Being a pet caretaker. It's one of them things. Because it's not like I can just be like, hey, look, Simba. You gotta let me sleep a little bit longer, okay, bud? And then when I wake up, I can, like, pet you and stuff, and then it'll be awesome. Can't really communicate that to him, since he is a cat, and all he understands is that my hand scratches his ears, and he really likes that. And also, sometimes he goes, meow. So he is very quiet. He doesn't meow very much. So when he is being meowy, it's usually for a reason. But anyways, you can see I finished all the dailies on this character. Now I'm just running the Monster Park. I run the 7 Monster Park on this character. This is just how I clear it. I don't know if it's the most efficient way. I don't really like this Monster Park, to be honest with you. I miss Limina. This is a very awkward Monster Park to clear. I'll say it. Some of the maps aren't bad, but, some of the maps are fucking... Like, this map isn't bad on the Wind Archer. But I hate the corner here. In fact, there's mobs in the corner. Yucky. Mobs in my corner. But still about a minute run, even with me not clearing it super giga efficiently. So it's not bad. Anyways, I'll run these. You know the drill. If I got anything interesting to say or want to start yapping, I'll bring y'all back. I'm sure you guys appreciate the cat yap. I do. I fucking love my cat, man. Honestly. One of the greatest things that has happened to me in my life. Because I wasn't originally gonna... Like, I didn't get him intentionally, you know what I mean? It was long... The story of how I got my cat. Basically, used to work at a place, and my coworker, one of my coworkers that I was like, I wouldn't say like super close friends with, but I was like outside of work friends with, adjacent sort of. Basically she was moving and she couldn't take one of the outside cats they had, because they had a bunch of, basically they lived on like a big farmland property out in eastern part of the state, and they couldn't take the cat with them. They couldn't take any of the cats with them, but they found homes for, like, all the cats except the one. And obviously this cat was my cat. And I was like, well, are you just gonna leave him there? Like, well, like, what's the plan? And they're like, well, yeah, if we can't find anybody, we're gonna leave a bag of food out and just hope for the best. Like, there's nothing else we can do, because they were leaving out of state. And it's like, well, I guess I have a cat now. Literally that same day, I fucking got the cat and bought a bunch of cat shit. Food bowl, food, toys, all that shit, because I had nothing. Like, obviously, I had nothing. I didn't plan on having a cat, and, got him a vet appointment, got him all his shots, and got him fixed, all that shit, because none of this shit had happened. Like, it was literally just like a stray cat that they kept on their property, outside. He was literally the definition of a barn cat. And that's also why he's indoor-outdoor, which is something that I'm not super big fan of, but I feel like it's more criminal to keep him locked inside than it was to let him out. And, I mean, nowadays, he used to be much more outside than he was inside, but nowadays he's like, I would say 90-10, 90% inside, 10% outside. So, I'm thankful that he has chosen to stay inside, basically. He prefers it, which, I mean, he has it fucking good, so it is what it is. That being said, if I ever do get, like, a kitten from birth, 100% indoor cat. It's just not even a question. Because outside is how they get injured. Outside is... It's just... It's bad, man. Try not to think about it too much, because it gets me sad sometimes. Like, what if something happens to him? I mean, he's had things happen to him, right? I've had to take him into the vet. My poor boy. Anyways, now I think I'm done yapping. Sorry, like, I could talk about my fucking cat forever, man. I love him so goddamn much. As I was saying, truly one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Alright, and with that, I can no longer enter Monster Park. 17 minutes on the Wind Archer. Again, like I said, this is the longest character. Just by nature of it being the Monster Park running character. That's just kind of par for the course, as it were. Deposit that, and then we head on to the next character, which is the Thunderbreaker. Thunderbreaker is just another simple character. I do all of the symbol dailies, and then I log off. Obviously do Golix and Arcarium on this character as well. Mostly for the exact same reasons that I mentioned before. Those reasons being... potential... way in the future potential source transfer items. Because this is one of my characters that I actually do kind of care about and want to gear up. I mean, it's already very, very strong. If you're new to my channel, this is like my second main. If you're not new to my channel, then you already know this character is very strong. At least compared to the other characters you've seen thus far that I've showcased. Well, showcased, quote-unquote. I don't know how much of a showcase it is. It's just me fucking doing dailies and showing you guys what a day of dailies looks like for me. I do this every day. Obviously, if I can't do it, I don't do it, right? Sometimes you have life shit you have to do, or you just have other things you're doing. But every day that I play the game, this is what I do. And I also do level fams on this character. I really should be doing this on my Wind Archer. Should also probably be doing it on my Wild Hunter as well. Oh my god. This shit's full. I'm on the Ursus channel, though. Yeah, the Ursus channel. Ursus channel, man. But I level fams on this character. Would highly suggest everyone to do fam leveling while they do their dailies. Because even if you only do the kill dailies and nothing else, you'll still get, like, a level 5 fam every, I don't know, 3-4 days or something. So it's not the greatest, but it's also not the worst thing in the world for, like, leveling fams and mules, because that's the only way that I do it, since I don't grind on these characters, right? All the fams they have are from doing it like this over a very long period of time. And that's another reason why the weekly Urda quest not going to my... Oh, it would help if I accepted the quest, huh, dumbass? I do that sometimes, too. Good thing that I remembered. Okay, chill. I was saying the weekly Urda quest going to my Ren, okay? The one benefit to that was the fact that I had to kill, like, thousands of mobs on a certain character, and that was, like, good fam leveling time. It was, like, an excuse to level fams. And low-key, I was kind of sad about it when they made it a weekly instead of a daily 3k kill mob quest. Because the daily 3k kills on whatever character I was doing it on was, like, prime fam leveling time. And I know I can just do it anyways, like, I don't need the quest for me to do it, but mentally I was like, okay, well, I'm getting, like, double value from this. When in reality, that's not how it works at all, you know what I mean? It's just like a trick of the mind, though. But I was sad about it, because obviously I used to put the 5k quest on my Dawn Warrior, but now I'm putting it on the Ren, so the Dawn Warrior's fams... Because the Dawn Warrior has no damage fams still. Dawn Warrior has been very unlucky. Thunderbreaker at least has, like, good enough fams for a mule. It's running a 36-6, the 6 is being attack. So, I mean, it essentially has good enough fams. It doesn't need more. Obviously, I have infinite fam cards. The bottleneck is not the fam cards, the bottleneck is me leveling the fams. Because I don't do it on my Nightwalker, even though I probably should to try to get a third 40%. After the changes, since there's no longer a range roll, if it's a unique boss line, it's 40% always. I should really get my third 40% on the Nightwalker, I just haven't done it. I really should start doing it, though. I just hate leveling fams. I hate interfacing with the UI in general. This UI is so clunky, and you have to wait for animations, and it's so unnecessarily slow. You're limited on slots intentionally to make things take even longer. At least you can expand slots, but again, the slots are expanded character-wide, not account-wide, and it's just like, what are we doing here, man? You let me expand fam slots, like, even server-wide. I would buy, like, 100 extra slots. Just to make the fucking UI a little bit less annoying to handle. Because in a vacuum, right? The UI being clunky and slow doesn't really matter, and it only adds like a couple of seconds per click of like waiting. But you just multiply that with how many times you have to click, how many times you have to interface with it, how long you have to do it for, and it just adds up over time, and it becomes really tedious and not something that I enjoy too terribly much. So that's what I mean. Obviously, if you're just doing it like once or twice every couple days, it's fine. But if I'm trying to level up mass amounts of familiars, which is what I would be doing if I was doing it on my Nightwalker, that shit just... It's just a chore, and it's not a fun chore. It's a chore because Nexon hasn't made the UI less ass, basically. It's just terrible because it's terrible. No other reason. Like, maybe that sounds obvious, but it's hard for me to explain what I mean. It's just like... Imagine there was an end lag to, like, moving things in your inventory, or, like, an end lag after you clicked the Star Force button. And it just happened every time for no reason. And it was just there. So you had to wait like an extra 5 seconds between Star Force attempts. Just for no reason. That's essentially what the entire familiar system is. And it's just... drives me up a fucking wall. Today I learned how much I actually hate slow UIs. Slow and bloated and poorly designed UIs. To be fair, though, I think that's a pretty, like, cold take. Who the fuck likes to wait on UIs? Especially for no reason. Because it's not like there's a functional reason why the UI is like that. It's just bad. I don't know. I'll stop yapping about it since we're done with the Thunderbreaker. Oh, I have an MVP expiring. I guess I'll eat these. Put these in storage. Put that shit in storage. 8 minutes on the Thunderbreaker, and we donezo. And you can see, got some XP on the FAMs. We move on over to the Dawn Warrior. Dawn Warrior is the exact same thing as the Thunderbreaker. Exact same routine. Gollux Arcarium, do the symbol quests, level up my FAMs a little bit. Especially since this character has ass FAMs, like I had just mentioned. Also, I remember to accept my quests here. I'll run Gollux and Arc on video, and then obviously I'll pause the recording if I have nothing to say, because I don't want this video to be super long and filled with nothing. Well, I don't mind the video being long, but I want it to be filled with, like, me saying words instead of it just being, you know, guy plays mushroom game in silence for 30 minutes. Because that's what it would be like in real time for me, though I'd usually have a YouTube video playing. I usually pause, like, all of my stuff that I'm doing. Like, I pause my music, I pause my YouTube video and stuff. Even though I could filter it out, like the audio track, and I could keep watching it. I don't know. My brain... Ooh, a Dominator, nice. My brain, for some reason, can't handle, like, having a YouTube video playing while I'm trying to make a video of my own. I don't know why. God damn it. Give me the Dominator. Give me the Dominator. Give me the Dominator. But same deal on this character. Just hoarding dupes for the day that it gets a source of suffering. It will happen someday. Copium. I mean, technically with Pitch to Pity, it will happen someday. Like 100%. Oops. I'm a bot. I failed the CAPTCHA. Don't tell. I failed. But yeah, like I said, with Pitch to Pity, like, it will happen eventually, factually. So that's nice, at least. But it is a long road ahead. And that is obviously why you want the dupes. Because you need a 23 sup pendant if you want to transfer into a 22 source, and I'm totally okay with being a 22 gamer. Any 23s that I have, especially on mules, will just be because I somehow had two 22s, and one of those two 22s decided to go 23. Otherwise, I don't think I'll be pushing for 23s on mules, like, ever. Literally ever. But again, never say never. Just, I don't see it for the foreseeable future. Because that shit kind of expensive, bro. And it's also not, like, massive gains for these characters compared to, like, the main. Since the main has less potential to get gains. So when things like 23 stars get added to the game, it becomes, like, a viable way to gain, like, a reasonable amount of power versus, like, the alternative methods of, like, going for double prime lines on shit, for example. You know what I mean? Hopefully that makes sense. It definitely does make sense, I just don't know if I'm saying it in the way that makes it make sense. I'm not the best at explaining things sometimes. Which is why it takes me a few tries to get there sometimes. But we do eventually get there, which is the goal. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this up. I got nothing else to yap about. I'll be back if I do, though. Okay, I just finished up killing the mobs, and I got a booster drop. Neat. Let me put this stuff in storage before I forget. Turn in my quests, because I sometimes forget to do that, too. Ooh, Frontier Pass stuff. I put Frontier Pass on this character. Very slow work, but this shit lasts for so long, I'll finish it eventually without having to, like, complete all of the things every week, I think, at least. But my fams are level 5, which means I can demonstrate what I mean when I say I hate the familiar UI. Because everything is just so slow. Oops. Like, okay, this on its own is annoying, having to type in 75 every time, but you can't rank it up until the animation finishes. Here, I'll show you what I mean on the next one. But basically, anytime there's any element happening, you can't do anything. Like, see, you can't rank it up until the animation fully finishes. And then, obviously, same shit here. Can't rank it up. You have to individually add the FAMs to the UI. It's just a lot of tedium for the sake of being tedious. It frustrates me. And again, like I said, in like a vacuum, this isn't bad if you don't have to interact with this, like, super often. The system is delayed. Yes, awesome, cool. Who knows why the system is delayed? Shit takes forever to fucking interact with in the first place. Thank God I got lucky tearing these up. Because sometimes, especially when you start chain failing the tier ups, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just annoying. I don't know how else to say it. Another set of 3 fams that are, how you say fucking dog water. That is how she goes. Level up the next set. Call it a day. Can't extract these because this is bugged. Have to relog. Anyways, though, that's the Dawn Warrior done. 11 minutes on this character. Probably because I was yapping. And, oh, well, also the FAMs. I did everything, right? Yeah. And then the last character on this account, this server, Chronos, that I do is the Demon Slayer. The Demon Slayer, I don't know why I still do this on it, but I just run Gollix and Arcarium on the Demon Slayer. This character is very interesting because it doesn't even have its arcane symbols done. I haven't done the Cernium on it yet either, but I've been doing Gollix on it for a very long time. As you can see, 5,500 Gollix coins. This character was originally going to be one of my Legion champions, but it just never got an RFS, and I think I still run, or I try to run... Oh shit, my shit's on cooldown. I try to run Damien. Hard Damien on this character every week still. So eventually that it will get an RFS, hopefully. And then maybe further down the line, I'll make it into like a C10 mule. Not that it needs an RFS to be a C10 mule, but it just has so many spares and stuff that I might as well do something with it eventually. It's just kind of in this weird limbo where it's like, I have no plans to do anything with it now or even like in the near future, but I might as well keep putting in this small time investment because this shit takes like a minute. It's not that big of a deal to run Gollix and Arcarium. It's literally like a minute.
Still blind to the difference.
Do I need to be doing it? No, but I still do it. And I don't hate Demon Slayer, but I don't love it. For bossing, at least. So that's, like, my thinking. Anyways, now it's time to go over to Challenger World. Which, again, this would be the end of my dailies with my Demon Slayer if it wasn't for Challenger World. But because Challenger World exists, then we have to go and do dailies here. And then it's going to be much of the same. I do the 7 monster parks. I do the symbol dailies. I also do the arcane dailies on this character since its arcane symbols are not max. And then I also do the 7 monster park on this character as well. Because monster park is eternal. I guess I might as well buy the 2 reward point tickets. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Need to buy 4 more. Lol. Gimme, 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 gimme. Got my tickets. Might as well pop G skills. Not that it matters. Ori burst, 1 shots Gollix. But same deal. You get your bread and butter, Gollix Arcarium. Sometimes I do the other daily bosses on this character too, just because it needs the meso, and the crystals are not shared between Challenger World and Chronos. So I can sell extra crystals. But it really depends on how I'm feeling that day. I think most of the time I don't do them. Oh yeah, I forgot I turned the vac pet on this character, because I was doing a 30-minute grind session and I wanted to loot stuff. Arcarium. Oops.
Still blind to the difference between...
Alright, and then it's just more of the same. I was gonna say, is this map capacity? But no. I think the Challenger World capacity is higher than 4. I think it's 10. When is regular game getting 10 capacity? Smiley face? I'd like to grind with 10 people on my map. Anyways, you know the drill. I'll be back if I have something to say, otherwise I'll just do my dailies. Alright, it's time for the Monster Park on the Ren. Just kind of been blazing through these. I'm EP, and I want to fucking get off the game and go do something else. But we're at the fucking finish line, so we're almost done. And again, this whole process doesn't take that long. It's probably under an hour most days. Given how much shit I do on how many different characters I do, I don't think that's like too crazy. I think obviously the longest part of it is running 2 sets of basically like monster parks, and then the multiple characters that need to do all of the Arcane River dailies. Especially since the Ren has access to so many Randus areas, too. I mean, that's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong. It just, it adds time, let's say. But anyways, that's just kind of what I've been doing daily. Most important thing to remember about this game, and like just any game in general, only do the things that you feel like doing yourself, right? If you don't feel like doing like 75 characters worth of Golics every day, don't do it, right? If you want to do it, you know? It sounds so simple, but it really is helpful to be reminded of these facts. Because I think a lot of people fall into the trap of like, well, I should be doing XYZ every day on like all of my characters that I might care about eventually, maybe sometime in the future. And it's just like, if you can do it and you aren't gonna like burn yourself out and you enjoy doing the things that you're doing, yeah, absolutely. Do the things that you like have listed out for yourself, right? But if you're doing like Golics on 12 different characters because they're all mules that you might gear up one day, and if you don't do Golics now, then you'll be missing out on the coins for 3 millennia. I think that's maybe not the greatest way to do things. Because you even saw, like, my Demon Slayer. I do my Demon Slayer for no reason other than the fact that I might do something with it someday. That's 2 minutes to do that character every day, you know? Is 2 minutes a lot by itself? No. But we start multiplying that by how many days are in a month, and then how many of those characters like that are you running, you know? Like, maybe you have, like I said, you're trying to do it on 12 characters. You have 6 characters you're doing it on for no reason other than maybe you might do something with them one day. That's 12 extra minutes a day gone. You know what I mean? Doesn't seem like a lot, but over time it adds up. And it feels more of like a chore than it does like a game. I think that's really sort of the thing that I'm trying to have like a takeaway, if anything, is that you want things to not feel like a chore whenever possible. I say whenever possible because I understand there's some things in games that are just obviously designed to feel like a fucking chore, and is just something you have to do regardless. Like, weekly dungeons are that for me. I don't like doing them, but I have to get through the slog every week because the rewards are too good. But when it comes to things like dailies on, like, extracurricular characters, so to speak, you definitely have some amount of agency over, like, how much of it feels like a chore and how much of it is just because you really want to do something because you want to work towards a goal or whatever. That's all I mean. Be aware of your own tolerances and what you actually want to do. And just make sure you're not doing it because you quote-unquote should be, I think is really what I'm trying to get at. End of the day, though, we're all our own person. You do what you want to do. Don't let some dude on the internet tell you otherwise. Whether that dude be me or someone else, just don't let anyone tell you what to do, basically. When it comes to video games, at least. As long as you're not hurting nobody. That's always the caveat to that. As long as you're not hurting nobody. Anyways, I'll stop yapping. I'll finish up the Monster Park, and I'll be back. Okay, with that, I have finished all the Monster Park. I think I finished everything on this character. So that's a final time of 19 minutes on this character, which will bring us to the end of all of the things that I do every day. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Little bit of a yap. I mean, this entire video is a yap. My entire channel's a yap. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like the video if you like it, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, bye!